When life gets unpredictable, preparation matters. In medicine, it's all about staying alert, ready for whatever comes through the door. On the road, it's no different. That's why Volvo designs vehicles to help anticipate risk, reduce harm, and protect lives. The Volvo XC90's advanced safety systems inspire confident decisions wherever the road takes you. The Volvo XC90, for life. Proud sponsor of the Pit Podcast. Learn more at volvocars.ca/safety.
It is the second hour of the Elias Mackos Show. We're going to begin this hour talking about up-and-coming new neighborhood that we're going to see in this city, as Montreal could be getting a new and massive real estate project south of Griffintown. Plans for the Bridge Bonaventure District would see a massive overhaul of the industrial neighborhood. 7,500 density housing units are being proposed alongside a new REM station. Now, the hope is that the project will attract new employers, the project will boost the city's economy, but some people have some concerns, particularly when it comes to low-income earners and their place in this new neighborhood. Stephan Corriveau is on the line, Executive Director of Community Housing Transformation Center. Hi, Stephan. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
So what's your take on the plans right now and the talks that we're seeing for the Bridge Bonaventure District? How do you view the project?
Well, overall, it's a good idea to develop that sector of the city. It's well situated. It's not probably exploited to its maximum potential at this point. And it makes a lot of sense to have something that is bringing together housing, work, and services in a organized area, and even more if there's a REM station that is being built there. But the issue that I and others are being concerned with is that building is needed in Montreal. There's a housing crisis, no question about that. The issue is who will be able to afford living in that neighborhood. So it's good to build, but it's better if you build for everyone rather just for smaller groups.
Okay, so Stephan, let's talk about that word here when you say build for everyone, okay? So what do you think the city should do? What do you think, like how heavy-handed should the city get to quote-unquote build for everyone, as you say?
Well, I think it should be a prerogative. Well, the city should actually do everything it has to do, but it's not only a matter of the city. The key element, I believe, in Montreal is it's not that the city is not willing to push or ask and bring forward requirements. The real problem is that behind those requests from the city, you need to have the means to answer it. So, for example, if you want to have a large part of the settlement that would be done for affordable housing in one way or another, including community, not-for-profit, co-op housing, and so on, you need to have the programs that goes and support it. So we can't only rely on the city capacity to do that. We need to have more resources, some of them coming from government, and some of them actually, if we could just ease the way, community housing organization, not-for-profit, charity, co-op again, are able to mobilize or would be able to mobilize way more resources if they were less cumbersome constraint for them to rely on their own assets to be able to leverage it and build. So this is what we're pushing for currently at the center in a large program we call plancher planning. And this is the kind of operation that could have made it possible. Like if you look right now, the proposals that have been put forward, you see all the list of private for-profit entrepreneur and business and so on that are lining up there, and they somewhere in the project say, and we will make sure to have some affordable housing. Well, you see, everyone there is not interested in affordable housing. They do it well. They ride the line because the city asked them to ride the line. Now, beside that, we need to have the means to implement those lines. And this is where it hurts. So this is the kind of thing that the community housing organizations across the province, actually across Montreal and across Canada, actually are currently trying to answer as a challenge.
We're with Stephan Corriveau, Executive Director of the Community Housing Transformation Center. And we're talking about the Bridge Bonaventure District. Stephan, I should note you're at an airport right now, which is why we're hearing the announcements in the background.
Yes, exactly. I'm sorry about that.
That's okay. Don't worry about it. So, Stephan, let me play devil's advocate here with you, okay? Because when I talk to some people, they tell me this, okay? They say we need so many housing units in the city right now. There is such a lack. The supply and demand is so out of order right now that the focus, and that could actually have the best impact for reducing prices overall, is to allow developers just to build. Get out of the way, let them build the units they want, and by increasing the number of units in a massive way, that will help the housing crisis more consequentially. What do you say to that?
Well, I say this is a simplistic view. Currently in Montreal, we're almost at 4% rate of vacancy, and other jurisdictions across the country, for example, I'm thinking several cities in the prairies are 6, 7, 8% of vacancy, and the rents aren't going down. So it's not only an issue of having enough houses, it's also an issue about what you're building and what the potential renters or buyer are that you're building for. If you only build houses that are unattainable, people with medium income and lower income can't afford it, then you get stuck with the same situation, and you end up with people doing speculative buy and just buying units, not occupying them, hoping for a longer time. A lot of foreign buyer would do that, and several investors in Canada-based will do the same. So yes, building more is essential. It's an essential part of the equation, and this is what we're not saying. Everything out of that proposal is bad, but what we're saying is that being more is essential, but it's not sufficient. We have to build more and better as well.
And Stephan, let me tell you, when it comes to places being bought by speculators, they own them. They don't occupy the areas. I am totally on board with you there. I mean, I think something needs to be done on that front. But then I look at the fact you just mentioned, like, let's say someone who's middle income, who can afford to buy one of these places. I look at the benefit of, let's say, someone who's middle income buying a place in the Bridge Bonaventure area, and that will vacate the place they were currently in, right? And then you think about, oh, geez, well, maybe that will allow someone who couldn't previously enter the market to enter the market.
So I'm not challenging the fact that we have to build. What I'm saying is that the offer has to cover the spectrum of capacity and need. And, when one is looking to say which are the most vibrant area in Montreal, well, you don't end up in the area where it's nothing against people of Westmount, but this is where the people are more wealthy, but this is not the most lively part of the city. The most lively part of the city are the part where there is a good social mix with people of all kind of different paths of life and all kind of different incomes. And if we're not building that kind of new complex over there, well, we're going to miss the mark, both for the quality of life of the people who will be living there and for the quality of people all over the city and the greater Montreal area. Building such a huge patch of land in such a well-situated places cannot be only for the wealthy, because if we do that, at the end of the day, we're going to have more social fracture in Montreal, in the society in general. And this is not what nobody is looking for, that at least as far as I know in the municipal authority, nor the government of different sides, and certainly not the community housing organization. And I do understand that private developers try to develop what is easiest and most rewarding for them. This is not a challenge about their vision and consistency. What I'm saying is that they should be in place, the means and resources for community housing organizations to sit at the table and be part of those developments, to make sure that the development overall is actually good for everyone and everything, and not just for the wealthy few who actually are not going to make that part of the city as vibrant as it should be.
Stephan, do you hope that the fact that this area, this Bridge Bonaventure district, is literally right next to a great example of a huge mistake, how Griffintown was planned? Do you feel that Griffintown makes your case?
I believe so. Griffintown is a good example of something that was, I believe, overall poorly planned and basically planned only on the basis of who could build what as fast as possible and had deep enough pocket to do it. And that's, you end up with a place where there's no school, where there's basically no kindergarten, where there's little services and amenities for people to be there. So we don't want that in any neighborhood of Montreal. I mean, people that live now in Griffintown are not very happy about some of the elements I've just said. So let's make sure that the people who will live in the new Peel Basin area will have good housing condition and a good and vibrant community. And that is coming out from making sure there's enough places that are being built for every part of the community. Because if you don't have that, you don't have a vibrant part.
Stephan, thanks very much for your time and safe travels. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you very much.
Stephan Corriveau is Executive Director of the Community Housing Transformation Center.